Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So people have asked me in the past how many points it takes to get a diamond key from the diamond difficulty character prize fights. I've never been able to answer this question because I've never actually done the diamond difficulty in the character prize fights. Mainly because at one point I did look it up, and from what people were saying, it just seemed like an insane amount of grinding just to get a diamond key. And the Cabinet of Curiosities has always been my main source for diamond keys, so I just never saw a point to doing it. But with that being said, I thought it'd be fun to actually go ahead and give it a shot, so we can find out together how many points it takes to get into that point threshold for a diamond key. Now, I did look this up beforehand because I know people have told me that there's some kind of place that gives you specific point thresholds for all of the prize fights. So I found this source. Now, from what I'm seeing, it looks like this data hasn't been updated for a while, so I can't really say how accurate it is now. But from the looks of it, as it pertains to diamond keys, that threshold doesn't look like it really changes all that much month to month. So I'm just gonna follow it anyway, even though, like I said, it hasn't been updated in a while, and therefore it might not be accurate for today's point thresholds. I guess we'll find out. So for this video, I did two prize fights, Valentine and Fukua. Now, when it comes to Valentine, I didn't actually get a picture of her graph, so just take my word for it when I say that the top 30% threshold for her was around 40 million points. So I went ahead and just shot for 45 million points just to be safe, because like I said, I don't know what the point thresholds for the top 30% are like at this point. Alright you guys, so as you can see, I did get 45 million points, so now let's go ahead and find out if I actually managed to make it into the top 30%. And I did it! Okay, so as you can see, 45 million points was enough points to get into the top 30% for Valentine's prize fight and therefore get me a diamond key. Now, whether or not I actually overshot it or just barely made the cut, I have absolutely no idea. But either way, it kind of follows with the graph's data, even though, like I said, it hasn't been updated in a while. Alright, so now we move on to Fukua's prize fight. This time I actually did take a picture of the graph, so as you can see, there's actually quite a bit of variation for the minimum point amount it takes to get into the top 30%, which is pretty concerning, to be honest. So with all of that in mind, I went ahead and shot for 55 million points this time around instead of 45 million, because it just seemed like every single point of the graph had at least 50 million points. So we'll see how this goes, because actually I haven't gotten the prizes yet for that prize fight. Alright you guys, it's time to find out if I actually managed to get the diamond key, so let's go ahead and check out the results. Alright, claim your... wait, which one was it? Oh, I think it's this one. Oh, I did it! Oh my gosh, I got in the top 30%! Okay, so 55 million points seems to be a good cutoff point. I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky. But I did it! Yay! Thank God, you guys, because if I didn't do it, I was going to be so upset. Seriously, because that meant I would have grinded so long for nothing. So, okay, so 55 million points was good enough for the Fukua prize fight, at least this time. Alright, so there you guys have it. Now, character prize fights are definitely a good way to get diamond keys. So if you're in desperate need of diamond keys, I would definitely recommend trying out the character prize fights. But if that's the route you're going to go for diamond keys, I want you to keep in mind that it does actually take 5 energy instead of the usual 4 for each match you do. That was actually something I didn't realize while I was doing it. I was wondering why I kept having to use energy refills despite having 4 energy bars. I thought it was a glitch, but no, it actually takes 5 for each fight. Another thing to note is, if you're like me and you're used to doing the gold difficulty prize fight, keep in mind that the diamond difficulty actually has a different match modifier. So I do recommend looking into the match modifiers before actually committing to anything, which you're actually able to do before you get into a fight. As long as you don't actually start fighting, you can just look at the match modifiers for each difficulty in the character prize fights. So that way, at least you know what to expect, because some of the match modifiers are a pain, especially Valentine's. That was awful. Also, one thing about the diamond difficulty is you can't actually use bronze or silver characters. You can only use gold and diamond, which I think is important to note, because you might have a silver or bronze character that you use as support. If they are silver or bronze, you won't be able to actually use them, unfortunately, at least not in the diamond difficulty. Also, in my opinion, it seems like the teams are a little bit more difficult than in the gold difficulty prize fight, and I think that just has to do with the fact that a lot of people are probably actually participating in the diamond prize fight, and therefore they're actually using really good defenses. So you're probably going to see some pretty awful matchups, but you know what? That's just the price you pay for trying to get diamond keys, I guess. So overall, yes, I would say this is a good source for diamond keys. Now, am I going to do it again? Personally, I have no idea because I actually really don't like grinding. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I don't mind grinding if it's during a time when I actually feel like grinding. The problem with character prize fights is that you kind of have a limited time frame to get it all done. Plus, they happen frequently, so if you want to keep doing it over and over and over again, it can get kind of tiring, and I feel like that would lead to burnout. So for me, like I said, that's not really fun for me, so I don't know if I'll do this again in the future anytime soon, but if I do it again, I'll probably choose different characters. I might go up against Fukua because that one wasn't that bad, but the Valentine prize fight was actually really frustrating because the match modifier itself was annoying enough, but having to fight Valentines is just kind of awful. But if you aren't in desperate need of diamond keys, I would recommend picking characters that you don't mind fighting against. Like, I would never fight Valentine again, seriously. Alright, a couple more points before I end this video. First off, this is not beginner friendly. I don't think I made that clear throughout any of the video, but if you're a beginner, I wouldn't worry about leveling up your diamond characters because you're gonna need diamond keys and a lot of coins. And even if you already have some established diamond characters, like I said before, it takes 5 energy to even participate in one battle. So unless you have like a bajillion energy refills, I don't think it's worth it, especially because you have to get a lot of points in such a small time frame. And finally, I did ask you guys whether or not this source was still reliable or not. And for the most part, the general consensus was that it's kind of accurate for the most part, but it's better to shoot ahead maybe 5 or 10 million more points than the top score. And also getting into the range of 60 to 65 million points is generally a guaranteed top 30% slot. So yeah, just keep all that stuff in mind. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you guys have another source to use that actually is more updated than this, because while this is really helpful, I can't tell how accurate it is. So if you guys have better information, I'll definitely pin it in the comments. But it was fun, mostly. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you again next time, but goodbye for now.